Hello there, folks. Today, what I want to do is I want to tell you about my experience as a marshal at the Major League Fishing event on Lake Murray a couple weeks ago, and tell you what I thought about it, what was good, what was bad, etc. Kyle Wood came by, which is one of the photographers for the organization, and took pictures of me and the guy I drew, Chase Seraphin, on the second day. And if you look real close at this picture, you will see my face, and it's kind of that look like, man, I wish I was on front of the boat, you know? And that's so true. So when we do events like this, you just wish you could do this every day. And I say that all the time, you know? I could do this every single day. I tell my wife that every time she goes out with me, I say, you know, honey, you know what? I could do this every single day. Now people say, well, if you did it every day, you wouldn't like it as much. Well, I would like to test that theory. But you know, if you guys don't know, I teach martial arts, and I have an organization. We have several schools associated with us. I own a couple schools. Been teaching for 30 some years, but I would really love to bass fish full time, and haven't really figured out a way to do that yet, and still, you know, hold on to my other responsibilities. And I know to do it full time, you gotta let go. But yeah, I think I could do it every day. Which reminds me, I'm gonna post a link up here in the video. A good friend of mine, she's a master in the martial arts, one of my students, and she has her own YouTube channel. And if you're into homesteading or a food forest, gardening, things like that, she's got special tips and techniques and different things like that. So go ahead and just check her out. It's called Faye Hollow Homestead. Help her channel grow. She's a great person, and she gives some valuable tips. And she mentions from time to time she could spend every day in the garden. Another thing to think about for this marshaling event, and you know, the duty of the marshal, I guess, is to make sure that the angler obeys the rules, because the anglers by themselves, they don't have a co-angler. You do not interfere. I can't say, hey, have you ever tried this lure, or why don't you go over that point over there? You can't do any of those suggestions. They're on their own. And when they catch fish, then you have to send in the information to keep everything updated live. And so I'll go through some of the weigh-in procedures. So there's boats coming in. They have different flights. There's 163 people fishing in it, and they have, I don't know how many, 20, 25 that come in at a time. They check in at the flag boat up there, and they weigh their fish. See the guy walking on the ramp, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. Here are the tubs that you put the fish in while you're waiting in line. Short line right now. You check in, and you go on stage when they call you.
He's got two bass today. Ron. Good luck tomorrow.
The guy that is handling the bag takes the fisherman's fish, dumps the water out, and then takes the fish and puts it in another bag, making sure that the right size limit. For this tournament, it was 14 inches.
All the way from Blue Isle, Missouri, with a 5 bass tournament limit, Mr. Mike McClellan. 5 bass today for Mike. Mike, your fish are going to weigh 14 pounds, 1 ounce, 14-1.
First and second day, the whole field fishes. At this particular tournament, they had 163 anglers, and then the third day, Saturday, they cut to the top 50. And then on Sunday, the final day, it was a 4-day tournament, the top 10 would fish, and first place is $100,000, and then they pay out on down the line. So on the weekend, these venues that are kind of empty, you know, Thursday, Friday, will be packed. So when you marshal an event like this, and you know, back in the day, I fished as a co-angler in some of the Bassmaster Opens, and then one time with the big boy, I call it the big boy events, the elites, when they came to Smith Mountain Lake. And the first day I drew Jeremy Starks, the second day Jared Littner, the third day Fred Boom Boom Robanis. And you know, you just pick up subtle things. And these guys are professional. This is what they do every day. You know, boat handling, boat positioning, I saw Jared Littner skip a drop shot underneath docks. Who skips a drop? How can you do that? You know, I still haven't figured out how to do that. And these guys are the friendliest people in town. Super, super friendly and willing to share information. The guys I drew, they weren't well known for this event. First one was Robert Nakatomi for the first day, and the second day was Chase Seraphin. Super, super nice guys. Robert finished far down in the pack. Chase placed high enough, 55th place, to get a $10,000 check. And later on, when we show his clips, you'll see the fish that was that $10,000 fish that helped put him in that spot. But like I was saying, you want to go to these events, you want to, you know, it'd be nice to draw these big names. I mean, one of the people I really like is Adrian Avina. They call him Jersey Boy. That's his wrap truck. James Niggemeyer, saw him. Dean Rojas, Mike McClellan. All these guys that you've seen fish for years and years, and you hope to draw them to see what do they really do while they're out there fishing and earning a living doing this stuff. I mean, where else can you go and stand side by side with your football hero or basketball hero or golf? You know, you just really can't do that anymore. But for these type tournaments, you can do that. Cost me $100 plus lodging, food. I probably had $300 in it. Spent 2 full days spending time with a pro. And even though these guys weren't well known yet, you know, I was able to absorb a great deal. A lot of things were reiterated, learned some things, but it's just really interesting being there and being part of it. So let me give you the breakdown. In these events, or any tournaments, fishing at all, I just love the mornings where everything looks like Christmas. You know, you have red lights and green lights, and you have the morning sun rising, and usually you have beautiful sunrises. But you got to get up early to appreciate those sunrises. Robert goes to his first spot, and he catches one right off the bat, and, you know, really a good keeper. And then goes to the second spot. We see birds diving, and if you guys that don't know or haven't followed that tournament, the herring spawn was on, and threadfin shad were spawning too to some degree, and he went into a cove that had a bunch of those and hooked up into a nice striper. Something interesting, you know, just about everywhere he went, he got bit, you know, and the question is, was it the right size? You know, worked very efficiently. And here's some clips of some of the different catches that he did that day.
Got it,
Now, Robert was from Sacramento, California. He's over here on the East Coast competing because his circuit goes all over the country.
There we go.
Now this is an interesting shot. I have seen this before, but I figured I would share it. You know, they have, I'm sure what it's called, but I got one in my truck. It's a ramp that if you're for a flat tire for a dual axle trailer, you can roll one tire up on it while the other one hangs a little bit, enough for you to change a flat tire, and you don't have to worry about jacking up the trailer. Well, this guy was using the curb, and I think I've seen that done before. That's a cool idea if your truck can get it up there on the curb. But that's a neat little trick. So here's the second day, and it started off with SpaceX or some kind of a rocket somewhere coming across the sky, and it had everybody talking. I wanted to pan around on this view right here just to give you an idea of the boats and everybody getting ready to take off.
That beautiful picture.
Cool, pretty cool sunrise too.
What am I doing?
The second day was Chase Seraphin, and he had weighed in, I want to say, 18 pounds the day before with 5 fish. You can only keep 5 fish, and your 5 biggest fish. And everywhere he stopped, first place we go to, catches one right off the bat. And every place he stopped,
Nice.
he got another
Good.
fish. But, you know, some of them were too small. They had to be at least, I believe it was 14 inches. Now, Chase is from Michigan, somewhat near the Detroit area.
Oh, it's a striper. Dang on it. Oh, good Lord, it's a big one. No, it's not that big, but it'd be a big one if it was a bass. What? Is he gonna make the cut?
I hope so.
That is a big one.
Now, this is the $10,000 fish. And it was a nice one.
Come
And basically, that gave him enough weight so that he could have enough
on. Yeah, it
in his
is.
5 fish limit to give him enough weight to move up to 55th place and cash that $10,000 check.
Please, Lord, please, 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 please. Yes! Yes!
There we go.
Good job.
I didn't even know I had a fish.
Yeah, oh, I know you do.
I'm gonna have to cut it and swallow it.
All right, I just want to get.
So, final thoughts. You know, I live in South Carolina. I call them the big boy tournaments, you know, the top professionals. I mean, we got Lake Murray, Santee Cooper, man, Lake Hartwell, Clarks Hill, the rivers, Cooper River. I mean, you got huge tournaments go out of these bodies of water. And I would love to, if I can't fish in them as a co-angler, be in them as a marshal. You could learn just different strategies. You know, it's not about learning secret spots. You know, with modern technology, there are no secret spots. And believe me, when you compete in these tournaments, you're competing against a network. I mean, everybody's got their buddies that gives them waypoints and information, etc. So you don't worry about the spots so much as just learning boat positioning, maneuvering, techniques. You know, the one thing I was impressed with, which I already knew, but it's just nice seeing, is the efficiency. You know, they go to a specific place for a specific reason, and then they're gone. Because your enemy is the clock. You know, you got to come back in at a certain time, and you got to get your weight by that time. So yeah, would I do it again? Heck yeah. I love that activity. I love that sport, and I wish to God I could do it. And I'm still working on a way to do it. Sooner or later I am. I'm running out of time. I'm 57. You know, my body's not going to hold up to compete, you know, on a serious basis. I mean, I can play around a little bit, but yeah, I would like to figure out a way to do that for sure. So this is the jersey they give you. And my wife, the first thing my wife said, I put it on, you know, I thought she might say something. Oh, honey, you're so handsome in that shirt, you know, whatever. But she goes, oh, that's a nice color. You know, so she was impressed with the color. Hey, kudos to Major League Fishing for picking out that color. I wasn't going to, you know, I asked these guys if I could film, and I told them I wasn't going to give away any secret spots or, you know, stuff that they didn't want me to. They were both just super nice, no worries at all. You know, film whatever you want to. Very open, and I appreciate that. It's all, you know, every time I've done something like this, it's just been a great experience, and really appreciate them. So special shout out to Robert Nakatomi and Chase Seraphin. Appreciate you guys. And hey, if you like this video, go ahead, please subscribe, like it, give me a comment. You know, what was your experience? And I'll see you guys out there.